It's Splat time!
Yes, welcome to a Splatalot special. Today, 5 brave young warriors, together with 5 plucky parents, go head-to-head with those despicable defenders as they compete to capture the greatest treasure in the land, the Splatalot crown.
I miss you, Mum. This one's for you.
Can the defenders keep the castle safe from the attackers? Or will our family pairs overcome every hurdle and ultimately rule this messy kingdom?
Bring it on!
So, who will tumble, who will tilt, who will teeter, and who will go splat? Hello, I'm Dick, he's Dom.
And welcome to a Splatalot special. 10 total strangers are normally invited to take on the kingdom, but today, just for a change, we've decided to keep it in the family.
Yes, 5 attackers have paired up with their mum or dad to overthrow the defenders and ultimately rule the kingdom together.
But before they can raise the crown aloft, they must face 3 different but equally demanding challenges.
In round 1, all 5 teams will attempt to cross the merciless moat.
Only the 3 fastest pairs will advance to our Ditch the Dungeon round.
And the first 2 teams to escape will move on to the Capture the Crown final. The team that wins rules the kingdom.
On top of all of that, both team members will have to complete each challenge. Otherwise, they'll be going home.
And there are plenty of obstacles designed to stop them in their tracks. Here's the moat challenge in more detail. The attackers begin with a fling from the Splatapult into the moat.
They must then make it up the slippery slope and across the terrifying rolling mace. But on guard is the equally terrifying Splacken.
If they survive that, they head down the impossible incline. Then they have to tackle the beastly battle axes. Bad for the attackers, but great for spectacular splats.
The wobbly bridge of disaster follows, and finally the wavering warhead stands between the attackers and the finish line.
The 3 fastest pairs will qualify, but don't forget the clock doesn't stop until both attackers have completed the course.
So they're going to have to work together to succeed.
Which could be tricky. Children don't always do what their parents tell them.
And parents don't always listen to their kids.
But they might unite pretty quickly when they come up against this lot. Yes, it's the defenders. In round 1, guarding the moat today, we have the fiendish and feathery Kookaburra, the grumpy and ghastly Thorn, and making up the terrible trio, we have Fatal.
This is gonna be fun. I promise.
Uh-oh.
Caution, all viewers. Parental discretion is advised.
But the kids can watch.
Enough of their nonsense. Let's go down to the course. Fatal is on the Aqualizer, Kook's on Splatuka, and so is Thorn.
So let's meet our first 2 attackers, Charles and his dad, Dave.
You don't know Jack Splat!
Actually, I do know Jack Splat.
Charles gets the tournament underway with the first splat into the moat. So, who is Jack Splat, then?
Our Splatalot logo. Meet Jack Splat.
You gave the logo a name?
Here's Charles's Splatapult again, and he's flying.
Must take after his dad. He's a pilot.
Hey, Charles, welcome to Air Thorn. I will be your pilot. Thorn.
Maybe he should leave the flying to the professionals.
You, Dave.
Oh, yes! And we have takeoff.
Welcome to Splatalot, Dave.
He did everything right, tucking his body into a tight ball, but Thorn still managed a mid-air splat.
Now, Charles, in the unlikely event of an emergency, there are emergency exits right here.
Okay.
Charles has heard enough, and he makes a move. Floppy paradise!
The moat's not an emergency exit, champ.
So, this time, the base roll sends Charles flying.
Flying's the easy bit. It's the landings he needs to work on.
Onto the incline.
Oh, Charles dodges the splacken, but can't dodge another splat in the ranky doodle.
Look out, Dave, it's the Splacken!
No dodging at all there from poor old Dave.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you look your right, you'll have a bit of a fright. Thank you for flying Air Splacken.
I'm actually on the phone with him right now.
Really?
Hi, Jack. How are you?
Back to the action. Oh, shovel buster.
Jack, you would not believe how bad they're doing on this course. It's embarrassing.
Honestly.
They're just flying into the mountain.
How rude, but she has a point. Dave certainly hasn't hit it off with the splacken, although the splacken does seem quite happy to hit him.
Sorry, I gotta do the host thing.
Fatal, who are you talking to?
I'm talking to Jack Splat.
Great guy. Really great guy.
Charles has already finished, and now Dave joins him.
Do you want to talk to him? Oh, you gotta go. Okay, yeah, I'll tell him to give you a call.
Jack's busy, but Charles and Dave have been busy too.
Oh, awful behavior from Thorn, but there's nothing awful about 848.
Elliot's Cocker Splatalot! Ha!
Well, granted his mum, Dawn, seemed pretty confident.
Grant, look out behind you. It's a Bigfoot.
What's Coot going on about?
Run whilst you can.
What? I still don't see anything.
Oh, sorry, it's your mum. I apologize.
When I'm done, you're mine.
What did you just say?
Sorry, what? I don't think we can hear you properly.
But you need to stand up. I understand your head will be out of the ozone, but you've just got to push it.
Coot's taunting is getting a little too much.
Whoa! That splash was huge.
Way too much.
Back to Grant, who's on the axes. Well, he was on the axes. Zucchini Bluffer!
Yes, he couldn't make it over the second axe, and then the first one helped him on his way.
Still, they've both made it onto the bridge.
Behold, Dawn the Giant.
Oh, and even Fatal is picking on Dawn, not very sisterly for a family tournament.
Go, Grant! Run!
He does, but he slips and then splats into the bilge.
Hey, Dawn, what do you do in your spare time? Do you terrorise villages?
That was so funny I forgot to laugh.
Good for you, Dawn, and well done to both of them for finishing the course.
13:55 is very beatable, but it's still early days.
Never too late for some nimble nom-nom, though.
Lovely.
Who's doing the course next? Is it the Loch Ness?
So, halfway through round 1, the leaderboard looks like this.
Charles and Dave are first with 8:48, followed by Grant and Dawn with 13:55.
Now, the 3 fastest family pairings will be going through to the next round.
So with 3 more teams still to come, the tournament is on a knife edge. Any one of them could still qualify.
That's good news for Splat fans, because the 3 remaining teams will be pushing hard for the fastest times. And if they push hard, then something tells me that they're going to be splatting pretty hard too. Ooh!
So, what do you make of our families so far?
Well, they all seem pretty united in their mission. No squabbling, tantrums or misbehaviour at all.
Unlike the defenders, I mean, we've had some shameful taunting from Kook, and Fatal spent half the round on the phone.
What do you expect? They're defenders. And I doubt they'll be any easier on the next 3 teams, who have the following times to beat.
A healthy 8:48 from Charles and Dave, and a slightly more beatable 13:55 from Grant and Dawn.
Returning to the course, Fatal is back on the Aqualizer, and Kook and Thorn still have their Splatzookas.
Here are Sam and Tracey.
Woo!
Well, that was possibly the best battle cry ever.
Here they are at the incline. Look out for the you-know-what.
Phew. Oh. Splacken! Now, was that Sam or Tracey? They both look so similar.
Well, whoever it was, they were splattered.
Now, I think this is Mum Tracey. Oh, she needs to put the brakes on.
She survives, but Kook gives her a back splat.
You can do it, Sam.
Oh, good. So we know that's definitely the daughter, Sam.
Which one's which? Which one of you is the eldest?
Am I seeing double? Sam, Tracey? Are you guys sisters? You know this is a parent episode, right?
Oh, drab container.
Always waiting on your daughter. Or is that the mother?
Well, I thought I got it, but now I'm not so sure.
Well, that's Sam, and this is Tracey.
No, that's Tracey, and this is Sam.
Okay, so who's that splatting in the moat, then?
No idea.
Let's move on. Well, one of them is successfully crossing the bridge.
Even Fatal's impressed.
Bring it on.
Tracey, it's already been brought.
Again, another clue. So this must be Sam. She's nearly there, but top-heavy Tom.
Her mum tried to grab hold of her, like a good mum should, but Sam was well and truly moat-bound.
Despite all that, they are still the fastest pair so far.
Let's have some celebratory diggle.
Sam's not impressed, but how nice she shares it with Mum.
Here's the first of our next attacking duo, Adrea, who's with her dad, Adler.
Splatalot or die!
Here's Adler in the Splatalot. Oh, crank handle.
Well, he makes quite an entrance as he glides ever so gracefully through the air.
Yes, but then he splat big time in the splot.
And I, for one, don't have a problem with that. Hang on, how did he get there?
I think there's a bit of cheating.
Adler, you did well, mate. Look at you.
Yeah.
Your father's not even sweating. He finished the course easily.
Not exactly.
Yeah, on your feet, mate. Stand up. You got to stand up. Can we stop the ball? Yeah, the ball stopped. All good. On your feet. Okay, wait, it's not really standing. Just on your feet there.
On your feet.
On your feet.
Keep moving.
On your feet. What are you doing here? On your feet.
You know what's wrong with this?
What?
She's not on her feet.
Don't rush through the axes. You're only at 40 minutes. What's another 40 minutes between friends?
Well, it's not quite 40 minutes, but Adrea and Adler's time is now officially too slow to qualify.
Don't forget, Naughty Daddy cheated too.
Let's meet our last pair of attackers.
Woman season!
Duck season!
Woman season!
Duck season!
Good season!
Excellent. I'm sure Kookaburra will have something to say about that. Hinton blew it.
Well, Rick's certainly fired up coming out of the Splatterpult. I think this could be fun.
Whoopsie.
Wow, this is tiring.
Natasha, you know it's a parents episode. Why'd you bring your granddad?
Naughty.
Hey, Kook, how's your cat? Is it still named Katrina?
Uh-oh.
Natasha's heading for a splat, but let's get back to the cat.
It actually passed away in the moat. Thanks for bringing it up.
Oh, what a shame.
Ha! She looked just like her owner.
I'm over it.
Right, back to the tournament. Rick takes on the rolling mace, and he wins. Good job.
Now stand up and hug each other in celebration.
Oh no, it's the Splacken!
Nice dive from Rick, though.
It's a classic ploy. Distract the attackers and let the Splacken do what it does best.
I don't think Natasha knew anything about it, unlike her dad.
She heads for the incline. Oh, and the Splacken nearly gets Rick again.
Natasha's made it. Now, what about Rick? Oh, he nearly knocks his daughter over, but ends up in the swim himself.
Well, she left him with half a podium, but that wasn't enough for Rick.
Yes, their teamwork really went out the window there.
At the axes now, and Rick's already over.
How's their teamwork this time? Perfect!
Natasha and Rick, that's so sweet to see you two hugging on the course. It's beautiful. I love it.
Thanks, Fatal.
Natasha tries the bridge. Oh, she sees the Splacken, and that leads to a splat.
Yes, with the Splacken closing in, she had nowhere to go other than the murky water beneath.
Now, can Rick complete the course? Yes!
There you go.
And it's also the fastest time of the day.
That sends Cook in a flap, but in a good way.
So the whooping and cheering signal a successful end to the moat challenge.
And the three pairs heading for round 2 are Natasha and her dad Rick, Sam and her mum Tracey, and Charles and his dad Dave.
What a great round that was. The defenders never let up on the taunting, but that just seemed to make the attackers even stronger.
It's like we said earlier, the pairs that listen and talk to each other will do the best. When Natasha and Rick got their act together, they started working really well as a team and came away with the fastest time.
But those family ties are about to be tested even further.
Yes, life is going to get even messier for our 3 teams. And remember, at the end of this round, we lose another family.
Before we head for the dungeon round, what about Cook's pet, Katrina?
It's so sad. He loved her very much, but all the defenders love their pets. Fatal's got a cute little Komodo dragon called Petal. Mediva's got a 5-meter-long python called Madge. And Vane's got a charming warthog called Keith. I'm not sure about the others.
Oh, haven't you met Blossom? Yeah, she's Thorn's pride and joy.
And what is Blossom?
A great white shark.
Ah, I should have guessed. Oh, dear. That leaves Scab.
Oh, yes, his pet's called Chomper.
Chomper! I don't like the sound of that.
Here he is. Chomper, the Chihuahua.
Chomper, the Chihuahua.
Shh. He doesn't want anyone to know he's got a soft side. He tells everyone he's got a pet dinosaur.
Right, let's get back to the tournament. Here's a reminder of who's through to round 2.
We have the family pairings of Natasha and Dad Rick, Sam and Mum Tracey, and Charles and Dad Dave.
Here's what they're up against. The 3 teams must escape from the stock market. Then once across the slippery splat walk, they can start climbing the loathsome ladder.
But the defenders will be slowing them down at all times with a host of slimy weaponry. The 2 teams that make it to the top first can claim one of 2 flags, their ticket to the grand final.
Remember, both team members have to make it over the finish line. And with only 2 flags available, one of the teams won't be making it through.
This round also signals a changing of the guard for the bad guys, so let's meet the next 3 defenders. First of all, it's the boisterous belly rumbler, Vane. Then we have our resident motor mouth,
Mediva!
And finally, it's Little Chomper's secret owner,
I'm Scab!
Hey, Mama.
Sup, Pops? Hey, pet brontosaurus.
You're not fooling anyone, Scab.
Down in the stock market, Sam and Tracey are in red. Charles and Dave are in orange, and Rick and Natasha are in yellow.
Mediva is ready with the froth frother, and Scab and Vane are going with goo grenades.
And they're off!
Mediva wastes no time with the froth, but where are the attackers?
They're stuck behind the gate.
What do we do now?
Here's an option. So qualifying for the final round, we have no one.
Yes, there we go.
The thing is, that was the easy bit.
Here they come.
Droop!
Oh, here comes on the point.
Double droop! That's an early bath for Natasha.
Oh!
Triple droop! Well, both Vane and Scab are on form with the goo grenades today.
This time it's a splat for Tracey, and she heads back down into the Milky Brew.
So the defenders have started the round pretty well.
Here's Scab with a slime ball.
You missed!
I didn't miss. I was aiming for the air. Come on, stay here. Don't move, okay? Yeah.
Burtonly Coggles!
Well, he did ask for it.
Not so accurate for Mediva, but together with Scab, she is pinning the attackers down on the ladder.
Scab splats Rick again, but it's the orange team of Charles and Dave who've come off worse.
It's an all-out splat attack on Rick. He isn't budging, though.
Scab is on point. Maybe because he misses his parents so much.
I don't know what he's talking about. He still lives with them. He sees them every day.
I miss you, Mum. This one's for you. Uh-oh.
Oh, shish kabob! And finally Rick is down, but not before taking Natasha, Charles and Tracey with him.
I think Scab's angry because he can't be with his mum every single minute of the day, and he deals with that anger by splatting attackers.
Judging by the results, I'd say he's dealing with it very well.
Time to summon the purple plague!
Here it comes.
Oh, Splat, no! I says no!
Mediva rather cruelly dislodges Tracey with a pokey pike.
And Dave is the first victim of the plague, but he soon passes it on to Rick and Charles.
Scab, you're doing way too much cardio.
Tide is not in the barbarian vocabulary. only anger, fear, and balls of doom.
Ow!
Hold on to something tight!
It can't be. It is. It's the Ball of Doom! The Purple Plague and the Ball of Doom. That's quite a rare treat.
Now surely it's time for the attackers to respond.
Vane decides it's not wet or slippy enough.
Where you going?
Oh, now the attackers are closing in on Scab.
I'm coming, Scab!
Quick, days are coming!
I don't think Scab will give in easily, though. And the attackers are down.
Incredible! 5 in one huge splat.
That's how it's done.
Oh, and the count goes up to all 6.
A snowflake on a deer's nose, a tree in blossom, the colours of the rainbow. Yes, all things of beauty, but they are nothing compared to the splendour and magnificence of a full-on splat.
Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here.
I'm going to lunch, everybody!
Well, that's just ridiculous. They do all that hard work and then just pack up and leave.
Mediva's still there, but I can't see her stopping Sam.
Looks like Sam has stopped herself. Oh, but her mum Tracey is the one who slipped.
Back at the top, and Charles is the first one to make it over.
And Dad Dave isn't far behind, so we have our first pair of finalists.
Ooh, we have a collision between the reds and yellows.
So the path's clear for Rick, who's over the finish line.
Come on, Tash! I need you!
He does, but where is she?
Come on, Tash!
There she is.
Well, neither of the reds are over yet, so she can make it up the ladder. She and Rick will be going through.
And Natasha's made it, so that means round 2 is complete. It's slide of shame time for the red team.
But flag-waving time for the oranges and yellows.
So commiserations to Sam and Tracey. They splatted heroically.
But congratulations to the families who've made it to the final.
And those families are Charles and Dave, and Natasha and Rick.
Well, that was another top round, and what a special treat to have a Purple Plague and a Ball of Doom. We don't see that very often.
Yeah, but something that we see way too often is shoddy work from the defenders. They started really well and produced one of the best multiple splats ever. Then Scab decided to leave, and Rain went to lunch.
Yeah, I think Mediva was fuming at the end, and I'm sure she'll be having words with them.
But let's not take anything away from the orange and yellow teams. They still had to battle hard and thoroughly deserved their places in the final.
Here's a sneaky peek of what's coming our way, and by the sounds of it, we could be in for a bit of a marathon.
Longest round ever!
Time now for a splat stat attack, and for that we need the splat stat hat. Go!
So far, the orange team has finished third and first, but the yellows have managed to come second and first. So that makes them our favourites, but only just.
Good! Well, it sounds like our 2 teams are closely matched, so it should be a gripping final.
Here's confirmation of the team names.
We have Charles and his dad Dave, and Natasha and her dad Rick.
So those are the finalists.
And this is what they're up against.
For starters, they've got all 6 defenders to deal with.
And then there's the course itself. The attackers start with a trip to the dire mire, where they'll find the barrier of all barriers.
Then they head for the terrifying tees. Once across, they must leap onto the scary go-round, climb over the annihilating arm, and land on the gruesome twosome.
The clobbering cannons are next. Then it's a leap onto the royal ramps, followed by a climb up the rock wall, where the Splatalot crown awaits. But, as before, both team members must reach the crown to win.
Down on the course, Mediva's on the equaliser, Vane and Scab are on the cannons, Thorns with the vaporiser, and Fatale's on her own.
Is there another defender around?
Where's Kook?
Here are the attackers. Dave and Charles look awesome in orange, and Natasha and Rick are good to go in yellow. Cheeky.
And they're off!
First stop, the dire mire.
Now, obstacles like the barrier of all barriers are all about teamwork.
Yes, it looks like both pairs have thought it through. Kids over first, then a helping hand for the dads. They're all safely over.
Natasha! So nice to see you.
How nice and polite.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi.
Hey, I'm Donald
sorry,
Barr.
I'm-
I'm here for the parent special.
Oh, Faith
I'm the
Howe.
Kookaburra's father.
Oh, my
Yeah.
goodness.
Meanwhile, Natasha can't clear the tees, and Dave decides sprinting is the only answer. Oh!
Well, Daddy Donald seems to be enjoying himself, unlike Daddy Dave.
Now it's Rick's turn on the tees. Oh, he stumbles, but keeps going.
Sorry, if you'll just excuse me.
Yeah.
Just 1 second. Yes, yeah, right there. Ooh.
Oh, here's one now. Oh, watch out. Here comes the fastball.
Oh, dear.
Oh, nice shot.
Oh,
Mr.
my first splat.
Back to the game. Charles clears the tees, and Rick clears the arm.
Hey, come in.
Me father!
Rick shrugs it off, though, and leaps for the gruesome twosome. Ah, he's made it!
Rick, splat or no splat?
Splat, please.
And with that, Rick slides into the rusty bracket.
Good answer.
Here comes Charles. Oh, it looks like his daddy's over the tees.
But he's not over the arm.
Back to Natasha. It's a trip, a slip, and a splat.
Well, as soon as she went off her feet, she was heading for a fallwear.
I think she was just desperate to catch up with her dad, Rick, who's still way out in the lead.
Here he is, but what's he up to? Ooh! And Rick leaves Thorn hanging. He won't like that.
Trouble is, neither will Scab. Line trooper!
Here's Natasha in the scary go-round, but she can't hold on.
Who is that old man running the course?
Oh, that is Dave.
Excuse me, Dave, hello? I like your mustache.
Just ignore him, Dave, and keep moving!
That might be easier said than done. He's just lost a shoe.
Oh, and now his son is getting in the way.
Charlie is down, but the family is soon reunited in the frenzy.
Well, as we said earlier, this final could depend on teamwork, and that appeared to be the exact opposite.
However, they both make a swift recovery. Dave now heads for the twosome, but he can't hold on.
Rick clears the cannons. Where's Natasha?
On the scary go-round.
Boghead!
Natasha!
Oh, they were doing so well. Double boghead.
Charles leaps. Oh, but he's way off target.
Rick has a second go of the ramps, and this time he makes it.
Oh, bad, weakly.
Here's Rick at the wall, but he's soon in the murky moat.
Charles sprints past the cannons. He quickly puts the brakes on, and then goes again.
I'ma make you right now!
So, Charles confronts the wall, and the wall wins.
Dave now makes it past the cannons.
Let's let them all through, shall we? Let's let them all through.
Scab Slime seems to help Dave onto the ramps.
Rick's down again, but good news for the yellows. Natasha's caught up.
Dave tries the wall now, and he can't hold on either.
Oh, bachelor's bump!
Natasha provides us with another tremendous splash, but I don't suppose that was her intention.
Now here's the 5th attempt at the wall.
Followed by the 6th,
7th,
8th,
9th,
10,
11th, really?
12,
Unlucky 13,
still unlucky 14,
just as unlucky 15.
surely 16, no!
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the longest round ever.
Here comes the 17th attempt from Charles, and he makes it!
Fly up there, Charles!
Charles carefully starts to climb.
Come on, Natasha!
She leaps, but no, she can't hold on.
Charles has now made it over the wall.
Game over.
Not yet, Donald.
Come on, Dad, hurry up!
Daddy Dave is behind Daddy Rick, though, but that could all change.
Come on, Dad!
Dave with the 20th attempt at the wall, and he's done it!
The defenders are ecstatic.
Just a couple more steps now. He's nearly there, and he's made it!
It's all over now.
I don't think Fatal can believe it, but it's true. Charles and Dave are the new rulers of Splatalot.
This happens every time, Vane. I'm sick of it.
Scab's having a tantrum, but this moment really belongs to our new royal family.
Oh, what a final 20 attempts at the wall.
Yeah, and both teams had their fair share. We said it would be close, but in the end, the orange team found the winning formula.
More nonsense from Coop, though.
Yeah, unless, of course, that really was his father.
Rubbish. If that was his dad, then where was Coop? Anyway, I know he wouldn't just disappear, because he really loves this next bit.
Well, we all love Splat of the Day, and it goes to our runners-up, Natasha and Rick. Unfortunately for them, their consolation prize comes in the form of the Splacken, which seemed to take a particular liking to Rick.
OK, let's get back to our new rulers, Charles and Dave.
Here's their journey to the crown.
You don't know Jack Splat.
Well, it turned out most people did know him, but that's about the only thing this pair got wrong.
They started well in the Moat Challenge, then splattered spectacularly in round 2, which they went on to win.
And in the final, after many attempts at the wall, they became the first father and son to rule this kingdom.
So let's hear what they have to say.
Our first act as kings of Splatalot is to have one of you thrown in the moat.
We wish we could do it to all of you, but today it will be you, Thorn.
What? What? Just because you have a mustache does not mean I won't slay you.
Well, he took that well, didn't he?
Thorn, as ever, graceless in defeat.
Did you notice? Coot wasn't there, just his dad.
Look, they're one and the same.
What if he has disappeared?
Oh, you'll be telling me he's been abducted by aliens next. We'll have more mess and mayhem for you soon, but for now, we'll leave you with the Splatterpult ceremony.
See? He has been abducted.
Nobody done good.
On that bombshell, until next time, keep splatting!